Homeschooling today is a very controversial topic. Many people believe that homeschooling is good for children, and others believe that it causes many negative effects. I'm one of the people that believe that it causes many negative effects. It can cause your child to have a lack of socialization, no sense of motivation, and it can cause many financial restraints on the family. Several people believe that it's okay for a child to be homeschooled, but other people don't believe so. And I found in a study from CBN.com that said 92% of superintendents believe that home learners are emotionally unstable, deprived of proper social development, and are too judgmental of the world. And Dr. Brian Ray found that in an article. Several other articles that I found have the same research saying that children are very emotionally unstable, and I believe that has a lot to do with the fact that they don't get any other contact with any other children other than homeschooled children, and there are more people that go to regular schools than are homeschooled. So we're going to talk about the lack of socialization for kids that are homeschooled. They have a poor development of social skills. They don't usually know how to carry on a conversation with kids that go to school, and a lot of times they're afraid to be around them or timid because they feel like they're not going to have anything to talk about because they're in so many different types of activities. They also sometimes feel as if they're left out. People that go to regular schools get to go to prom, homecoming, school parties, end of the year parties, and just different things that children that are homeschooled don't get to do because they don't attend that high school, and those functions are only for children that go to that school. From middleschool.net, I found an article that said that homeschool children may not have as many opportunities to interact with other children in comparison to children who attend regular schools. Forming bonds and socializing with children their own age is important for the child's development and health and development of social skills. The lack of socialization may affect them later on in stages in life. So I believe that being around other children and hanging out with them and just being in contact with them at all has a lot to do with how your child will turn out in the end. Next, we're going to talk about the motivation for children that are homeschooled. They don't seem to have any incentive to succeed. A lot of the times, the parents won't give any deadlines for the children. They won't have to turn in any assignments at any specific time, and most of the time, their parents are their teachers, so they don't have any new authoritative figures. They're going to make them feel like they need to have things done on time, they need to behave properly, and they need to actually do their work instead of playing with toys or watching television. Also, they don't have any competitiveness. They don't know what it's like to have other children to make them want to do better in school. From middleschool.net, there was an article that said some children need to be challenged to excel in their studies. In this sense, they thrive when they are involved in some competition. Children who are homeschooled would not have this motivation because most of the time they're educated separately. And because of that, they're not going to have other children to want to make them do better, to want to score better than on a test, or to just be competitive with it all. They don't have any sense of motivation to do that. Also, there are tons of financial restraints. A lot of times this isn't something that you think about, and most of the time it has to do more with the family rather than the child, but it's a big issue. Most of the time families become single income families. One of the parents has to stay home and teach the child while the other parent goes out and works, and a lot of times it's hard for the parents and the family to balance on one income because most of the time it's not a large enough income for them to do that. Also, they have to purchase a curriculum and supplies for the children. Some curriculums can cost up to $400 just for one grade year. And they also have to pay for utensils needed to properly teach the children, such as a chalkboard, chalk, desks, just things that a public school would have for the children. From school.familyeducation.com, there was an article that said, for married parents, one partner often forgoes full employment out of the home in order to homeschool. This can be a sacrifice for families who are struggling to balance their budget. And also, from middleschool.net, parents may choose to use a homeschooling program, such programs may have benefits, but the increase of cost could hurt a child's education. There are also other costs to keep in mind, like project materials, books, computer software, and field trips. So, in order to keep your child from having these negative effects like lack of socialization, absence of motivation, and financial restraints for the family, send your child to public schools. Send your child to private schools, whatever it takes to make your child be the best in life. Thanks for listening.